I'm better pre-game, as you well know. Post-game, I'm a little beat up now. Look at me. Come on.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
On a walker.
Yeah, that's kind of my favorite thing is just watching you slowly start to kind of trickle in on the walker.
I'm better, though.
You're feeling better. You got the shot in the back. This is a good
This is the third week.
This is a good weekly update that we get.
Good test to see where I'm at.
There you go. On how the Gooner's back is doing.
I had a shot Tuesday, a little herniation shot.
Okay.
It's working because I could actually feel the herniation in my back now. It used to be numb down to my toes, and now I have a lot of pain. So
okay.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
So you get a shot in the back.
I got a shot in the back to feel pain.
To feel more pain. So before you were just going with numbness before, and now we're just going with pain.
That's funny.
That's a heck of a way to do it.
It's a Motley Crue song, Dr. Feelgood.
I feel like I vaguely know who the Motley Crue could never name.
Don't do this to me already, dude. We're 1 minute. We're not even a minute into the show, and you've already upset me with that. You don't know Motley Crue.
No.
But you just throw something out like, who's Little Duty Uzi? And I'm like, I don't know who that is. So
that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we both live that life.
Yeah, we got a little bit of both, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dare I say, an old school, new school, like je ne sais quoi, you know, a little thing working back and forth.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll teach you some new school rap. Teach you some old school rock and roll. I mean, this is great. You know what the positive is, and someone said this, that no matter what nowadays, we are in the fall, and if you have yourself a rough week, and you're having yourself a bad Wednesday, a bad Thursday. You know what you get to look forward to? Mm-hmm. College football on Saturday and NFL Red Zone on Sunday, or just if you watch your team. But I'm just a big Red Zone guy at this point.
Hold on, for those out there, we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
What's that?
And I don't mean me. I actually mean a physical elephant in the room, and that is Mr. Tangwell was all kinds of jazzed up about coming to the Goon and Carrie Ann's house last week. Remember?
I do remember. I recall.
Yeah. Hot roast beef Sammy's. Open-faced roast beef Sammy's, mashed potatoes, brown gravy, French fries, all that stuff. A lot of carbs.
There was a lot of carbs.
And what happened?
I did not make it out.
My wife goes out and buys 3 pounds of shaved roast beef.
You weren't able to put it all away?
Spent $36 on it. And what happens?
Miss Carrie,
And what happens?
I no-showed.
You no-showed.
Sorry, Gooner.
I got hot up at work. Yeah.
To be fair, I will tell you.
I understand the game, so I do. You start watching film, and you start doing this, and you start doing some different show prep and show work, and all of a sudden it's 3 a.m.
I did get a little excited, yes, and I was.
But what did you eat?
What did I eat? It was like 10 p.m. Have you ever had Condu over there? It's over on right across from Champs. It got late, and I realized it was one of those things. Because you texted me.
Is it an Asian place?
Yeah, it's like. But I'm big on their. They basically do the stir fry. They do the hibachi basically.
Like
they don't do it in front of you.
You go and make it, and you go and order it.
No, I just go and order. I just get the chicken, the shrimp, the steak, some fried rice, veggies. I love it. I think it's great.
Proteins.
Proteins. And so I went over there, and I realized it was like 10 p.m. And at this point, I'm watching Penn State. I'm watching. Shout out Clemson. And real quick, I just want to do. We are here at the Student Bookstore, downtown State College. Goon and I are here at every home game Sunday mornings, 10 a.m., followed by the biggest show in town of the Nittany Lion mascot. That'll tell you what. He comes in here in about an hour. There's going to be a line all the way around the corner. It's like clockwork.
You see what he did to me last week?
What's that?
See what he did to me?
What did he do?
Son of a... He walked out there. He starts doing jumping jacks because he knows I'm disabled. He knows I'm hurt. He's mocking me. He's pointing to your head like, and he's doing jumping jacks. Like, look at my legs. Look at my back. Look at this. You two medical rejects over here got nothing.
Got nothing on me. He can do one-handed push-ups.
I'm the freaking line. I got 1,000 people waiting out here. You got 2 people inside. You're paying a kid to sit and watch you.
He's better than us. We're getting no love out here. The Nittany Lion mascot gets all the love, and that's why you come out to the Student Bookstore downtown. Come see him. Come get all their Penn State merch needs, and obviously we got the whiteout coming up. You need some white gear. Bring yourself down to Student Bookstore because It's going to be a good game. I'm excited for that one, Goon. I mean, we got
you think
top 4 matchup. Top 4.
I got to get back to something here. You said you were watching Clemson film last night.
Okay, I've been watching. Well, let me say this first, Gooner. Let's talk around.
I want CJ Spiller to call you back and say, "Yeah, dude, you were right."
I'll tell you what. I announced it. I didn't want to put it on Twitter because I didn't want any more beef. But yes, I was doing some breakdowns on Clemson's offensive line. They got it copyrighted and stricken down. I got emails from Twitter that it was from the Clemson football office that said, "Hey, we are taking this down because you violated our, copyright laws." And like technically, anybody that puts out film it's copywritten because it's not your property. No one ever gets that.
How are you getting the film? I mean, is it lineman film? Is it like
no? It's just it's all film in general. It fell off
from a TV tape or is it?
No, it's like all 22 tape. It fell off the back of a truck. That's
I know when that happens.
How that goes.
So
Clemson, clearly did not enjoy it. It went semi-viral, and so apparently they got donors calling in. Why can't this be fixed? And this bum retired guy up in State College can tell you what's wrong, but our offensive line can't. Well, so that gets stricken down. So now they're my mortal enemy. And so I'm sitting there watching Georgia Tech run it up on them, and I'm saying, yes, take them down.
I actually looked like I knew what the hell I was talking about yesterday. I said, Georgia Tech's, their head coach is an offensive lineman. Mm-hmm. Key, right?
Yeah, Key.
And I said, dude, he is going to try and just humiliate Clemson because they're not known as the toughest guys around. And he was going to go out there and he was going to aggressively make them play physical.
Yeah.
And they did, and they beat them up.
Yo, can we talk? Georgia Tech's Haynes King is one of the most physical quarterbacks. His body this morning, he needs to wake up into an ice bath because he tries to get up and it looks like his shoulders falling off and he's like,
It is always nice when you're young and you can pop back and regenerate quick.
He is. He was probably out. I'm sure after a huge win like that, he's probably out enjoying himself. And then you get up early, get ice bath.
He was massaged by 13 women at one point, in a hot tub. So he was doing just fine.
He was all right. He was feeling.
Southern
feeling
quarterbacks got the life though,
Yeah, I think it's a different life. Playing football in the South is so different than playing it up here in the Northeast.
Yeah, but we get paid. We get paid now, so it's just now we're better.
It's a good. Did you see that?
Funny how that happens.
Did you see that from Nick Saban? It was last week. He basically said because of NIL now, there's kids from the South that just were staying in the SEC are now coming up here. A Jeremiah Smith who for Ohio State is from Florida.
I don't care.
And I'm like.
You were paying them,
Yeah,
Nick.
You've been paying them for years.
You were paying them.
I mean, they've been doing. I'm sorry, SEC. Almost every single one of them has
Shane
been paying.
Gillis ripped.
Oh, Nick Saban on
he
game
called
day?
him Alabama Jones because of his hat. Not Indiana Jones.
And Nick
Alabama
Saban,
Jones.
And he was pissed too.
And he was pissed. He's
that was great.
And Shane Gillis was like, "Well, it's pretty funny the SEC can. Once they start paying players, now they're complaining about this and that." It's like.
Yeah, he didn't like that one at all.
And then all of a sudden, Nick Saban's retired.
Yeah,
But with that being said, I think that Nick Saban is one of those old school guys who can hark back to the older school, like the Joe Paterno era. Because I was here when we were playing at Alabama and at Alabama in 10 and 11. Bro, they could have beat us 100-0. And I'm telling you that. I'm being 1,000,000% honest. There were some not great teams, but they were some unbelievable teams at Alabama. So it was one of those things. It was they really could have, and he would not do that. He would not blow Joe up like that. That was that's how awesome. I thought about it. I mean,
very cool.
It's a respect thing, and that's what it is. But I think that Nick Saban has a role going forward in the NCAA in the new. What we would call, however, the governing party, who's going to watch over? Because the NCAA is they're on marked time. They're done.
Oh yeah, they know their time is very limited here, and it is going to be Big Ten and SEC. I think eventually here in the near future are going to go ahead and break off here, and that's what's kind of naturally happening.
The 4 Big Ten, the 4 SEC teams getting into a 6-team. Hey, we make all the money. Guess who makes the rules?
Yeah. And then, I guess this is a good segue. I saw someone made a joke last night. Hey, maybe Notre Dame wants to get in a conference now, get an automatic bid.
Exactly. I say it every year. I mean, that's the thing. It's it's either they got to go to a big bowl game because they fund themselves, and they're going to sit there and say, "Oh, their TV deal. We make more money on our TV deal."
Yeah. So like that's a good point. That Notre Dame, they can make out really well, or they can get destroyed. In the college football playoffs, because they went to the Natty, they got to keep a lot of that money. But if you don't do so hot, you also don't have the backing of the conference money that you just automatically get. So I mean, there's obviously the NBC
support,
deal, but you got a little more support.
Well, there's a team last year, Michigan, did not go to the playoffs, but has a pretty big. They won a national title before, but guess what? Indiana went to the playoffs with us. Penn State, Indiana, and Ohio State. So guess what? We got three cuts of that pie.
Yeah.
But Michigan wasn't part of it, but yet they shared in that profit. You know what I mean? The year before, when Indiana has sucked for decades, when they stunk at Northwestern, they just take their little cuts of the pie and this and that.
Yeah, going their way.
It is what it is, but I mean, Northwestern, I don't know how they're in the Big Ten, but it is what it is.
You kind of forget they're in the Big Ten. I feel like that, like them and UCLA are like now they're the new little bros. I mean, how about
I watched UCLA the other night, man.
On the Friday night,
did not look good.
I mean, they came on at 10 p.m. East Coast time and stunk it up against New Mexico State. And not even just like lost to New Mexico State, like got pounded by New Mexico State.
Yeah,
I think they might be. They're the worst team in the Big Ten. They're up there for one of the worst teams right now. I mean,
I had I thought that they were going to take a step up from last year. They were going to improve. They got the kid from Tennessee, quarterback, who stinks out loud.
Yeah.
Whew. Tennessee dodged that bullet.
You start to have those NIL things. This is kind of an interesting situation that's being talked about with NIL now, and I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, but across college football as a whole, and this is like getting into the sports psychology stuff, I know it's getting kind of deep into it, but what you intrinsically value as a football player when you just are playing as a little kid is like the love of the game. I want to go out there, have fun. I want to learn. I want to get better. I want to play with my friends. Like that's when football is at its purest form, and you still get that in high school, and for the most part, you still had that in college up until NIL became a thing, and so naturally, you start having these extrinsic values of money and fame and these big deals. And naturally, when those things become more important, you're getting more of those things. The things that matter intrinsically, the love of the game, naturally, like that's just human nature, starts to be like less and less, and you just care more about the extrinsic things of, like I said, money and fame. So I don't know, like, are we seeing that to a degree? Like, maybe guys across college football as a whole, like, not caring as much because they feel like they've already made it to it. If you're making $2 million,
you're making 10 times more than 100 times more than your father or mother make.
You're 18 making $2 million.
How do you handle that?
Mentally, yeah, I don't know, man.
Handle that it goes as far as like in the NFL, it was like you sort of have this thing where the NFL is like, well, how do you tell a guy who's a coach who's making $300,000 who yelling at a guy who's making $9 million? It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't work. But in the NFL, it's their job, and they understand that they are mature men. But these are also men who've made it to the NFL who are actually like the hardest workers I have ever met. They're the NFL guys. You just don't slip into the NFL and make it. You know what I mean? You got to work.
No.
So these guys understand it's a job. So I hear you say all the time, not you specifically, but you would hear amongst the guys leaving and going to take an NIL deal somewhere else, it's a business decision. But it's a big thing in your locker room right now, in the locker room right now. Like, how do you feel? I told you 3 years ago when we started talking to each other, like, I don't know how a guy can go in the locker room who's in the transfer portal. Like, I'm going in the transfer portal. I'm not. I mean, it may not have been you. I was like, where does he eat? Like, and I'm like, where does he eat? Does he eat in the football dining hall because he's still on scholarship? Because he's sure as hell not going to share a plate with me if he's not on my team anymore, if he's leaving. But you have to take into it is a business decision. Where back in the day when we had guys leaving, it was because they weren't playing, and they weren't happy with the coaches and all that. It was like, dude, you're not one of us. Beat it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whereas now you're sitting there with a guy who is sitting next to you who's in the transfer portal looking to visit places and go and play for somebody else. I'm like, how do you share a plate with him? But in the same breath, it is a business decision. He's going to make more money elsewhere. You have to look at your future. And I could understand that. So that's where the old school, new school thing comes in. I'm like, I wouldn't want to sit next to a kid who's not on my team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I can directly relate. I mean, so CV, Christian Veilleux, obviously was a quarterback, and when he had lost the battle to Drew, he knew he was transferring out, and he was my roommate. It was me, Dom DeLuca, and him in a room. I mean, in a house. And so like we knew that he was going to leave, and it was just that's kind of the difference now. You still do. You still break bread with those guys because it's like, all right, you gotta move on and make the decision that's best for yourself. But like you said, that's the difference between now and then.
It started a little bit with. I mean, I can go back to 2012 when the sanctions came down. You know,
so what was the feeling for some guys like a Silas Red and those guys that like
Silas Red thing was like it's either you're with us or against us, and Bill O'Brien made that pretty apparent. Like Bill was like, Silas was like, "Well, Coach, I'm going to go," and he's like, "Well, then get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear your excuses of why you're going." I mean, Bill was a cut and dry guy. It was like you're with us or you're not with us. Bottom line, you know. But there were some receivers and some guys like that. But like I always say, like Maudie, Hodges, Zordich. All of those guys that were on Matt McGloin on those teams that were like the senior leaders on that team, they kept this program alive. Bill gets a lot of credit for it, but those guys kept us alive. But I also say, like, it wasn't those guys. Those guys weren't leaving. They were fifth-year seniors. So where are they going to go?
Yeah.
I mean, their time was here. They'd already put all their time in. So, like, where does – it was a guy like Donovan Smith, the left tackle for the Bucs for 12 years. Okay? Anthony Zettel. You know, Jesse James. Like, these are the guys, they were freshmen and sophomore, who had no right staying here. Why would you stay here? You had no bowls. You had the opportunity of no bowls coming at you. You had a lack of scholarship, so you were going to get the living crap kicked out of you. Why did they stay? And they're the ones who deserve the credit for the team being melded, held together. Because, I'm sorry, Maudie and that crew deserve the credit for keeping that team together.
Right.
Especially those younger guys. Because there is no way in hell any one of them should have stayed.
No,
think about it.
Yeah, and if everybody would have left, I think how quickly we recover. I mean, to win a Big Ten championship 4 years after that is crazy. I think a lot of teams, if that would have happened, I think that shows the Penn State culture. I think most teams would still be recovering from
You want to hear something absolutely freaking crazy?
What's that?
SMU just came out of their funk last year.
Yeah, from like 50 years.
It was 83 when they've been in a funk for 40 plus years because they got shut down as a program. Like that's where they were. That's what they wanted to do, but they weren't going to shut us down. They couldn't shut us down. But those guys who stayed, it was the younger guys who stayed that was like a big thing, and they deserve a lot of credit for keeping this program alive. The older guys keep the program alive, but the older guys staying and not going elsewhere. Again, like think about that. There's no hopes of a bowl game.
Yeah.
There's no hopes of playing for a national title. Like, why would you have stayed here as like you weren't a starter? You're just a freshman. Like I think Donovan Smith had like 75 offers.
Yeah, all the guys
at that point.
Should we get guys on the roster? I mean, on the coaching staff right now. You look at like Deion Barnes. Yeah. You look at I believe Ty Howell. Like all those guys. And then come back and still continue to build it. Speaks to the culture of Penn State. Sure, absolutely.
Buddy. So I hate when they use that word culture like it's a bad thing.
Oh no,
culture is not a bad thing.
No, we got it. We have a fantastic culture here, and speaking of that, let's talk about the 05 team for a second.
Yeah, man, it was good.
What I think is
a lot of Goon's puppies were up. You think you're my puppy? I had my puppies.
Because
they were my puppies.
For those that don't know, when Goon came back and was you were a strength assistant for that 05 season, right? So I mean, you were around those guys.
I was there for 5, 6, and 7 seasons. I came back here June 1st, 05.
What brought you back first before?
Went through a divorce. Was living in Richmond, Virginia, working as an insurance guy. In September of the year before, my dog had gotten killed, and I was just like, I'm living down in Richmond, Virginia, alone in a house. I have a bunch of friends down there. I'm doing very well financially, having a good time, but I was missing something. So a person I was friends with, she was like the HR person who did like study tests of like what you should go after professionally wise and stuff like that. And she made a statement to me. She says, "Where was the place you were last happy in life?" I left Penn State in 1996, got drafted by the Colts, had a horrible experience there, got hurt, tried to play football in Canada. It just wasn't happening. It was I was more putting myself at more risk than anything. So she said to me, "Where was the last place you were happy?" I said, "I'd have to say State College, Pennsylvania." And she said, "Well, what the hell's keeping you here?" I said, "Absolutely nothing."
Yeah, right.
So I came back here, Me and Brandon Noble were going to open up a cheesesteak restaurant. I'm not lying to you. We were going to buy the Penn State sub shops up on Beaver Avenue, and then he was going to be the funding of it, and I was going to be the run it and stuff like that. I've always wanted to open a cheesesteak shop. So I'm watching a preseason game later in that year, and I see Noble's leg get twisted 86 times in different ways and wrong way, and I said, well, there goes my funding. I'm literally watching them drag him off on a field with an ambulance, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting funded for my cheesesteak stop. So either or, I call JT. I come up here June 1st. I start working in the weight room. He calls me and says, Goon, I need somebody who, by the way, John Thomas was just up here this past weekend for the 05 reunion.
Right, long-time strength coach.
Absolute strength coach, absolute god to us. It's so funny. Like, you see Chuck, like, you see guys like Richie Ornberger was here, Dennis Landau, Tommy Golars, Mikey Lucian. You know, I'm just sitting there, and Scotty Paxson, he was like, they're like, because he has a big goatee now. He looks like he's like the guitarist for Slayer. And he's just sitting there, and he's just
reference doesn't do anything for me. Don't know what Slayer is.
He's a great human being is what he is, a great man and this and that. But that man was hard. He would beat you. He would break you down the same way Chuck does to you guys. Yep. But you know what? When there's an issue in your life, who's the first person you're talking to? You're going to see Chuck.
Strength coach,
you
absolutely.
feel more comfortable with him than anybody because they have seen you at literally your physically weakest point of your life.
Yeah, they've seen you on the ground throwing up. Yeah, you're like, you're
and they're just
gasping.
like, all right, let's go. You know, let's do it again. And then their job is you got to get up and go.
Yeah,
and that's their job. So JT, he has this big goatee down to here, but he has the eyes, and these guys would be showing up and they'd be like this, like, is that JT?
Is that?
I'm like, look, and they're like this. They're like, I'm starting to pee my pants. I'm starting to wet myself a little bit. I'm getting a little scared here. And I'm like, he's like, hey, and he's such a nice, great human being. And he's like, and these guys, we love him so much and loved him so much. And it was like good to see all these guys, you know, shaking his hand and hugging and this and that. And it was just funny because they were like, is he mad? Is he scared?
Is he mad?
Is he going to beat us?
We're going to go run hills?
When I came back in 05, this is a little history lesson here. Like, Penn State had been lost 4 out of 5 seasons. We're losing seasons.
That was a bad time.
And I'm telling you, Landon, I walked into that weight room in June 1st. I mean, I was started working like, you know, say a week later. The weight room, the locker room, the facility was just a miserable place. The coaches were feeling a ton of pressure. You know, the players were feeling pressure. It was like one of those things that was like, we lost 4 out of 5 seasons. You know, this is bad. The coaches were like JT. Like, it wasn't fun because, you know, these people are coaching for their lives now. You know, so they were like, hey, we got to work. And
that was basically, I mean, that was like, if there was another bad season in 05, like, Joe was done, right? I mean, that was it.
The strength coaches would have gone. They would have probably made Joe, no doubt. I believe they went to him in 3 or 4 and said, hey, Joe, it might be time to go. And Joe made the comment in 05 when they won the Big Ten with the right, you know, to represent the Big Ten when we didn't have a title then.
No,
we did not have a game title. But we won the Big Ten, and Joe made a comment, the same guys who were at my house 3 years ago trying to get me to retire are giving me this trophy today. And it was like a little backhanded slap, like, okay, I got this thing. But, you know, the weight room was just, the facility wasn't a great place. There was like this, like, doomsday, like, you know, cloud above the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got back, and I bought a little bit of that 94 like mojo back there, you know, where you know me. I'm a worker, but I also like to have fun. You know what I mean? I can make fun, and you know, we would take these guys through workouts, and we would make it fun for them and stuff like that, where it's like, hey, it doesn't always have to be so miserable in here. Let's have a little bit of fun here. Yep. But when it's time to work, let's work. So those guys, and then you got to take into account that leadership of that senior class was just unreal.
Oh, the guys.
Like Alan Zamitis, I'm telling you right now, he was, 215, 220 playing safety or corner? He didn't mind going up to an offensive, defensive lineman and fighting.
Got those.
He was just a bad dude, and he was just like, not a bad dude, but he was just a leader.
Yeah, defensive. I mean, linebackers. You got Tomba off the edge. I mean, I was talking.
Look at the linebackers.
The linebacking core there.
Dude, they had to move Sean
Lee. No.
Well, Sean Lee didn't even start. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
They had to get him out there.
I got to meet Paxton yesterday, by the way.
Paxton?
Yeah. Paxton. He was. Yeah. Yeah, funny.
Short little arms?
Yeah, short arms.
It's T-Rex. That's what the Steeler guys called him. Yo, T-Rex, what's up,
T-Rex.
man? Yeah.
That's
Scott's
a D tackle right
he's
there.
one of my guys. That's he's my ultimate puppy. He's a Philadelphia guy.
Yeah.
Played with my rival schools and stuff like that. We knew a lot of the same people growing up. Like, he was a Roman, I was LaSalle. It's funny that he and I won a Philadelphia Catholic title, a city title, 10 years before him by beating Roman, and he won a city title by beating LaSalle 10 years later. So it was like one of those things.
That's great.
He was just a good kid, a great kid. And AQ was not here. But Richie Orenberger, I mean, you're not going to find a funnier human being in this world. Have you seen those interviews with Edelman and stuff?
Absolutely. I need to meet him. I cannot believe I haven't met him. Can you hook me up over a text or something? I got to meet him.
You know where he lives, right?
No.
He lives in San Diego.
Seriously?
Yeah. He ended up leaving the Patriots. He was with Bill O'Brien and the Patriots, and then he moves out to San Diego, plays for the Chargers, and gets hooked up with some radio gigs, and he's like a morning show guy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Okay.
He's unbelievable.
He went on with Edelman on Edelman's podcast. They were hilarious.
He just sits there and tells stories.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He tells Vince Wilfork. Did you see the Vince Wilfork story?
Yeah. All his Patriot stories were hilarious. Dude. I mean, I think he threw a Joe Pa story out there, too.
He was like, get out of here. But
that's my favorite thing.
See, Rich was also one of my little wayward youth children, because Joe knew who he could yell at. It could be pretty brutal too.
Yeah.
And that's why, he wants to get words of the team. So he would yell at me and Marco. Because me and Marco knew how to take it. And we would just be like, kiss my ass, this and that. But the word would get to the team, like, okay, he's yelling at those guys. I better straighten up. I don't want to get yelled at like that. Because he knew who my mother was. He and my mother had a great relationship, so he could yell and scream and break my chops all he wanted. The same thing with Marco. He knew that we were tough. So then Orenberger, they always used to call him Orenberger. He can't get right, because he would always just like mentally he'd have mistakes and stuff like that. And then the ultimate curse of offensive line play is if you remember the last play, you're going to mess up the next play. You got to have a short memory. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got
he was definitely afflicted with that disease of like one bad play led it into two bad plays, and that led into like, okay, that series is done because So I got Rich on the side a little bit and gave him a little, like, hey, listen. Because Joe used to ride him. Mm-hmm. Really, really. But, again, he was riding him because he knew he could take it. And I pulled Rich aside. He's like, Goon, I don't think I could go, man. He goes, I don't think I can make it here. He goes, I might just start get out of here. I said, dude.
Everybody has that.
Everybody has
Every
that.
player.
I don't care what sport you play and what division football you play.
I'm not built for it. I'm not built for it.
You're just like, I'm not here. I can't do it. I'm not made for it here. It's not for me. I can't do it.
Unless you're like an Abdul Carter. Some guys, that's not a thing, I don't think.
And they're just that arrogant.
Yeah, exactly. They just know how good they are, and they're arrogant, and they're like, I'm going to dominate you. So there's a couple of those. But
those guys are great to beat the hell out of them.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, oh, what's up, Dominate?
Bow.
Yeah, how you doing? So Rich was like in the weight room one time. We were just hanging out there, and I looked at him and I said, "Rich, you were one of the best offensive linemen I've ever seen." Now, I'm telling you this much right now, Landon. He was the best finisher I have ever seen playing football. Like if he got you going back, you were going down,
getting dumped.
You know how hard it is to pancake somebody.
Oh yeah. You
got to have the leverage, this and that. He was doing that like he would do that. Honest to God. He'd have 10 pancakes, like savage pancakes a game.
I would have loved it.
I said, Rich, listen, you're probably one of the better offensive linemen I've ever seen here. I said, you are me. He knows that he can yell at you and you're not going to like spaz out. He knows that you're a tough kid mentally. He knows this and he knows that. He's going to pick on you to make a point to the other guys. And he's like, and then Rich said, it's like high voice, like, dude, you're serious? You're right, And then, like he would just start like kicking, and he would just start like, and I would just be like, just let's get it out of your head, dude. Get it out of your head. And then they ended up going to another road. They ended up winning. They won the 05.
Yeah, 08.
Orenberger and Shipley. They were just freshmen.
Right, and then 08.
So then 08, there was Landolt, Lucian.
AQ was the center. You got Wiz. Yeah.
Yep.
That was a hell of an offensive line.
Yep. So that was the 08 team. So you had the 05 guys that were here, but they were like Orenberger and Shipley were just puppies, and they used to call AQ the Cub.
The cub.
Little cubby, because he looked like a bear.
He still does.
He does.
AQ's awesome, man.
He totally does.
No, that 05 team. I think they get lost in the mess a little bit of great Penn State teams that is not talked about enough. So it was cool to see them honored after that first quarter. I mean, they were.
I'm with it, man, because I was part of that team, but then put that you got Puzz and Dan Connor, Sean Lee.
Oh yeah, greatest linebacker core
Tamba,
probably ever.
Jay Alford.
It was something special. I'll tell you what just happened here. The student bookstore downtown just got.
Obviously, I mean, the Nittany Lion must be showing up soon.
We're 30 minutes away from the Nittany Lion mascot coming down to the student bookstore downtown State College.
Yeah, ex-football players over here, but they're more worried about the Nittany Lion. It's absolutely fantastic.
You want the Nittany Lion mascot?
You ever want to get humbled in life? Come down here to the student bookstore on Sunday and do a radio show. With the lion, with the Nittany Lion next to you.
Yeah, the lines, yeah.
And people are looking at you like, can you shut up? I want to hear the lion.
Yeah. Do you think, can the lion talk? Does he just like growl?
I think he just growls. But he does have, like, he got the tail going. He gets the tail going. Gets going. You better look out, man.
I guess, did you see the Oregon Duck week 1? His helmet, or his, the top popped off.
Go Birds.
That was great.
Let's go. Big one today,
Super
baby.
Bowl
Big
rematch
one.
today for the Birds.
Absolutely, it is.
That's going to be a good one.
I'd invite you over, but you won't show.
I'll probably be watching more Penn State films. I'll probably be. Goon's going to start just a Go Birds chant in here. This is great.
I mean, it's anti-Nittany Lion, so that's the thing, you know.
Yeah, there you go. I respect that. Goon, let's talk a little bit more. You know what I want to talk about, actually? I want to talk about, we always go old school, new school comparing things. We got a bye week coming up here.
Ooh.
We've had a lot of conversations. I've had people ask me what the bye week looks like. So just to set it for you, because Franklin even talked about this yesterday in his presser, but just kind of someone who was just on the team to tell you what it's like. So you're going to come in today. And what's interesting, actually, is they just put in new lights in Beaver Stadium for obviously for the night games, which, is happening here in, 13 days, I guess. Yeah. So they're going to go over there tonight when it's a little bit darker, and they're going to try to get under the lights and make sure, throw some passes where guys are looking up at the lights, and every little thing. Today.
Lennon, I'm so old. I was a little kid when my brother was playing here when they put the first lights in the Beaver Stadium. They used to, honest to God, the old school bent Beaver Stadium, they used to bring in like construction lights.
Yeah, they bring just
put them down.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's how they had a Boston College game in 1984 versus Doug Flutie. I'm not lying to you, bro.
Did we win or lose?
We won.
Oh, we beat Doug Flutie. Okay, good.
Flutie had actually thrown for over a mile of yards.
Oh my God!
Against our defenses in his career, though. The guy was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
That's great.
Yes, but I was at that game, one of the first games, and they used to bring in the lights because a 3:30 game in October, it was dark by the time the game was over, so you had to have some light out there.
Yeah. So you can't be playing ball. I mean, boy, in the 70s, if it was a night game, did they do night? I mean, just playing ball in the dark.
That was the old story. Was there's like been stories about Schembechler and Paterno, like ABC call and be like, hey, we're gonna put your game on at 3:30. He goes, you can put whatever the hell you want on. My game starts at 1 o'clock. It's like the TV didn't matter back in the day.
Yeah.
Bo was like, I'm playing at 1. You want to put it on TV? That's fine, but I'm not. It's going at 1. I mean, that's how like old school those cats were.
That's great. Yeah, I guess TV didn't really matter.
One for you.
What's that?
I have an even older school story for you. Right. I was alive when Wrigley Stadium had no lights. Wrigley Stadium didn't have lights until the mid '80s.
We're
Wrigley Stadium. They didn't play night games.
Yeah, were night games
for 100 years.
Were night games not a thing in sports?
There used to be the World Series. The Phillies played in the '80 and '83 World Series. They were afternoon games during the week. Afternoon games on Tuesday and Thursdays.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy to think what television is. Well, that's the almighty dollar, but.
Yeah, that's what money will do.
So that's good. That's good. He's out there doing that. I mean, he's never going to let like any little thing go unnoticed. James.
No, yeah, every tiny little detail. So man. So go over exactly that little thing. So
is that OCD or is that just being?
I think if you're a head coach of a program, it's probably good to have some OCD in you. I don't know if there is, but I mean, I guess you can't really tell the difference. Is it OCD or is it just trying to make sure every single detail is just?
I mean, he's a great manager. He's a great manager of people. Is what he is.
Absolutely. So
you have to be that to be a college football coach.
Against Oregon, if someone says, "Coach, the light from the new lights was in my eyes," he's going to say, "Well, we came over here 2 Sundays ago and we worked on that on purpose for that reason." There you go.
Amazing.
It's amazing. So,
but my thing is like, wow, one day after a game you're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you get done tonight. What is they're going to keep the same day off? Do they get extra days off?
Yeah, so you still got Monday off. So you're going to get Monday off. That's you got to have one day off a week, and then they're going to practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's going to be a rough one for what we call the D squad or the practice squad. Those boys,
the Aeneas Hawkins is.
If you were Aeneas Hawkins in this type of week, you're hating your life. Like, I remember freshman year when we had our first bye week. Oh, dude, and it was after.
But that's the only time you get to play football, though.
It is. It is.
You know,
I mean,
you're back
it's
to be
cool.
playing football.
It's cool to play football, except you're just going like 24 plays in a row. We call it the D Squad Super Bowl. And Nick Dawkins at the time made it this production where he's like, "Yo, it's the D Squad Super Bowl. It was the Thursday night of the bye week. You know, all the starters like are off, like they're just like home chilling. And Doc's like, yo, wear your best outfit tonight. And so we start coming in like it's the actual suit. Doc comes in like a full fur coat for like a Thursday night.
Gee, where do you think he got that from?
Probably Pops there.
God bless Doc.
Doc, I'll tell you, Doc can changes a locker room. Like I said, we've talked. What the hell are we going to do when we don't have Doc around here anymore?
That's what I'm saying. I just literally thinking, like, I don't want him to go to the NFL. I want him to come back here and just like, I mean, we need you in the locker room. You're the locker room.
Yeah, you just stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take care of the locker room.
That's where Doc needs to stay. So just to give you an idea, that's kind of what practice is like this week. Yes, we got things
Tuesday,
to clean
Wednesday,
up,
Thursday.
but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and
my question is afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry, weekends. What's going on there?
So Friday and Saturday, fully off.
Fully off.
So technically, you asked.
Okay, all right.
You
are
asked,
going back to your straight game week, and then you're off again Monday.
Exactly.
Okay.
Sunday you come in, and the nice part is you're a little bit ahead because on following Sunday you're not coming in and watching prior tape. You get that Sunday to be all Oregon. Then you get next Monday off too, and then you're into the normal game week. Really, once you get back in on Sunday, it's a normal game week.
This is an honest question because James has struggled after bye weeks, have we not? I mean, not James. I mean, we'll say the team has had its struggles post-game week, post-bye weeks.
Yeah, I believe. I want to say I just checked it. I think, and partially he has played Michigan and Ohio State off a bye, but I believe Franklin here is like 6 and 7 off of a bye.
But it's not just that. But even when we have like a lesser team, we play. We don't play
play down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had people ask me that question. I mean, look.
But my question is, was he changing things, or is it just this is the way we did it last year? We're going to do it this year.
Yeah, I mean, my whole time there, we always kept bye weeks the same. And from what he said, like I said in his presser, where he said this is what this week is going to look like, it seems like it's the same thing. So I don't think much is changing there. But I mean, look, I think it is a little bit different. You're getting up for. I don't know. I mean, we played 1 versus 5 last year. That was Penn State versus Ohio State, 1 versus 5. Yeah. It's going to be 2 versus 4. I don't know the last time we had.
We still play Ohio State after a bye week this year.
We do. But, actually, the last time we had a top 4 matchup specifically. Do you know when that was? Specifically
Penn
top
State,
4.
Just 2 top 4 teams?
It's got to be top 4, not top 5. Top 5, we did Ohio State last year. Last top 4 matchup between Penn State and an opponent. I'm almost certain of this.
97 Penn State, Michigan.
No, it was 2021 Iowa and Penn State. Remember, Iowa was 3 and we were 4. Or maybe they were 3 and we were 4.
What year?
2021. Remember, we were undefeated going into Iowa, and we went into Iowa, and boy, it was a 3:30 p.m. game, and it was in October.
The last play game in Juwan Johnson touchdown?
No, that was 2017. That was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we might even had a big matchup. Before that game, but I think 2021 was the last time we had a top 4 matchup, and we went. That was the game Cliff got hurt and Taquan Roberson came in, and we remember 3 false starts in a row, and we that meme, the meme of the Iowa, the fan. Yeah, we got PJ.
I've always wanted to find that guy and just beat the living crap out of him.
Somebody's got to find that guy and deal with him. But Iowa just is awful. So yeah, that was the last time.
You really think they're awful?
No, they're all right.
They're like the nicest people in the world out there.
I guess.
They want to beat your butt, don't get me wrong.
You got a pig head on the field. We just got things thrown at us constantly. Cool. They're up on, and it's kind of pretty
Helmet
cool.
stolen.
Yeah, because they're so close to you. There's no stadium where the fans are closer to the players than Kinnick Stadium at Iowa.
The word is the guy, Doug Ostrowski, was a third-team quarterback. He was charting plays, so he didn't have his helmet. So his helmet was, that's the helmet right there. There's the bench. The helmet was on a mechanical box, and a crowd just reached out and grabbed the helmet. That's how close they are to you. And that's literally how close they are. They're really right on top of you.
I remember this is before. Now you got tablets on the sideline. Trout was drawn on the whiteboard, and fans were like, oh, we're gonna tell them the plays, and they're like throwing gum at our board. Like that's like they're right there, right where the camera is. We were just right there, and so the young offensive lineman, we had to stand behind and like build a wall so Trout could talk.
We used to do that.
That's a
there
classic.
was a story back in the day, well before me.
That's a good call. Penn State 3 and Oregon.
We played at West Virginia. They were brutal. West Virginia fans.
Oh, yeah, West Virginia's bad.
Oh, boy, they were brutal.
Josh, I got to correct myself. Josh did correct me. Penn State 3, Oregon number 1. I guess that was a top 4 matchup in the Big Ten championship. I guess we were. Wait, we were 3? Yeah. Yeah, we were 3. That's right, because then we lost and then we were 5.
I thought you meant at Penn State, but I guess we were at Iowa, so yeah.
Sorry, continue.
What about at Iowa? I mean, when was the last time we were
that
top 5?
That was 2021.
Top 5 at Beaver Stadium.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, the Ohio State game last year when Ohio State came, they were 1 and we were, or they were 1 or 2 and we were 5 last year when they came to town. So, I mean, we got opportunity.
They all run together, bro. And you know what I saw?
I don't know. What's that?
For the first time since we've been in the Big Ten, we did not play Ohio State next year.
Yeah,
we've played Ohio State every year. They're the only team we've played every year. We're not playing them next year.
That is something. The only tough games we got next year are USC and Michigan, really. I mean, I don't want to, we don't know who's going to pop off and look good, but we don't know Ohio State, no Oregon next year. That's kind of cool.
A little bit.
All
right.
Yeah, so.
My bye week was Joe would be like, we always had Sunday was our day off.
Okay.
Sunday was always our day off.
Because you got to watch NFL then.
I loved it.
Oh, my God.
We absolutely loved it.
I missed that so much when I was playing to not watch NFL on Sundays.
We used to just watch the offensive lines play of different teams and just be like, watch the legs, watch the hands, and you just be like, wow. You'd be like, okay. I mean, my roommates were Jeff Hardy and Marco. Marco was not a football fan. He had a great NFL career, but he wasn't a huge fan. Hardings and I could not watch enough like NFL, college football. We loved it. Like watching how centers got their snap hand up and Larry Allen, how the hell he's destroying people the way he used to do it, and a lot of stuff that you used to just watch guys. You learned a lot, but you also wanted to see your friends.
Yeah, your guys in the league.
That's my thing. I was like, cool. I want to watch my friends play. But like, if you guys have practice Sunday, you guys don't really get.
No, you can catch the fourth quarter of the 4:25 games, and you get the night game. That's it.
That's nuts.
That's the only thing you get to watch. The 1 p.m. you go in. So the guys come in today, and you start at about 1:20, 1:30 is the team meeting. So you can catch the first 10 minutes of the 1 p.m. games, and then in you go. It kind of like killed my Steelers fandom a little bit because I just didn't really get to watch them. Now, if it was a primetime game, I got to watch them. If it wasn't primetime, you really aren't watching your team at all. Yeah. So you kind of start to lose that fandom a little bit because you can't watch them. It's kind of like, Did
you just go Joe on me?
Yeah. I'll tell you, my favorite thing is talking to, when I was talking to Paxton, like, these guys, everybody's got a Joe impression, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Paxton, you're never going to play here. And everybody heard that one. You're too much of a fathead. Get out of here. Conlin, you're a drunk. Get out of here! You're too Irish drunk. Get out of here!
All right. Speaking of drugs, what was your
Sunday? Joe was our day off.
Right.
Joe was obviously not that James isn't, but Sunday was huge with the. Joe would always be like, "Get in the books, catch up on some work, this and that."
Did you?
My girlfriend's gonna take your picture.
Oh,
we got a live photo here. Go Birds! There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you for the support.
You know how much that means to us that we're not being shown up by the Lion outside?
Yeah, we don't get photos. This is the only guy.
The Lion has 2,000 people outside. We're just sitting here. Thank you very much. There we go.
Look at that, guys. Now
and he taunts us, too. He flashes his tail at us.
We feel important now, Goon. We just got a photo taken live. How you doing?
How you doing? Sunday, free, off, get away.
What was your... As far as the bye week schedule, what I want to know is like what was the we call it training on or training off, so that the captains and they talk to Franklin. If training is on, that means you are not to be out. Like you can obviously go out and get some food, but like if you're caught at like any bar or like drinking anywhere, like you're gonna get handled. So
what night?
Well, it just kind of depends. Normally, obviously, the only night that training is off, meaning you can go out, is Saturday night in the season. What about bye week, though? Did you guys get any little extra,
a little bit.
A little bit. The whole bye week, I think, is what I'm feeling from you.
No. He wouldn't even dress it like the seniors and starters. They would again, it would be like a Debo. But we wouldn't have a scrimmage or anything like that. But they would we would hold practices and stuff like that. I mean, the bye week is let's gather ourselves. Let's catch our breath here a little bit. Let's heal up a couple wounds that we got here, this and that. So they'd have the starting guys really weren't out there that much during practice the whole week.
Yeah, heal up,
man. But then Joe, we kept the Sunday was off. Monday, lift practice. Tuesday, Wednesday was tough on the other guys. Then Thursday, we would, whatever. And then he'd be like, get out.
Weekend, you got off?
He would say,
would you guys go home? Because, technically.
He would say, see us Monday. And then if we had true buys, they were different things.
Okay.
The first time was like, let's get out of town, go home, go to your high school, go see your mom and dad, go have a good time with your friends at home. You have another guy you grew up with plays another game, go see them play. I used to just like going home and going out to a bar and this and that and just watching college football because you can't do that on Saturdays as a player. That was always fun to do. And again, like we were watching NFL guys, we'd also catch up on our high school buddies in college.
Yeah.
Or guys you played against. Like I was always interested in like Notre Dame because I had a couple guys from my hometown, my age. They went to Notre Dame. Marvin Harrison went to Syracuse, so I'd watch Marvin. My Fitzy was at Maryland, so I'd watch their games.
Yeah, no, it's fun. You're right, and you don't normally ever get to just sit there and watch, especially college football. So that's the cool part for the guys this coming weekend.
Yeah, so
the week 4 they get to sit down.
He won us out.
Yeah,
he'd want us.
Well, you got to kind of have.
Campus.
Yeah, you got to have some of those, relaxed moments and go be a kid.
You can't have too much football. You can't have. It can't be your life. Joe really was a master at. You still are a student athlete. You are a student first. Enjoy life as a student. Now the second bye week was
different.
like, hey, we're either going into the home stretch right now. We need to buckle down and stuff like that. Really work hard this week and. It wouldn't be like there would be like a Saturday practice stuff like that.
Okay.
So it would be one time. One of the games would be a get home, and then so one of the bye weeks, and then the second bye week would be like let's stay here, let's work a little bit, and get after it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Gooner, we got about 15 minutes left. Once again, we're here downtown at the student bookstore, downtown State College.
Any good comments, man?
Oh, yeah, we got some comments in here.
we were at the student bookstore. I apologize.
Keith Kearns, this is my favorite show. I appreciate you, brother. Z-Man all said he loves the show. Peyton, what's up, brother? They're saying they want to see Penn State destroy Iowa. So we got at Iowa, bye week, and then Ohio State.
Correct.
So that's
tough place to play, man.
Dude, I always say you don't want to be in Kinnick when it starts to get dark.
And it's a nighttime, man.
If we get a 3:30, even if it's a 3:30, not even a 7, a 3:30 in late October, it might as well be a night game as soon as you come out of halftime.
You're playing nighttime.
You're playing nighttime, and
there's been some nightmares out there, dude.
Oh, we really have.
Do you remember the Cold Bowl?
No, I don't know anything about the Cold Bowl. Nothing about the Cold Bowl, man.
See, I'm such a wealth of knowledge for you, bud.
I need it. I need my Penn State history.
Notre Dame, 1992. It was the Rudy game. Your boy Goon started the movie called Rudy.
You were in that one, basically.
Yeah, because all the snow tape of the movie Rudy was Penn State versus Notre Dame.
Oh, that's great.
So my claim to fame that game was I melted my cleat. It was so freaking cold that I was standing next to the heater.
Oh, yeah, you put
so I'm a freshman, and offensive like, we don't go out with sleeves, man. We're tough. And I'm like,
oh, no.
Dude, you're playing. I'm sitting on the B marker, like I'm on the sideline, dude. I'm freezing. So we're out there and we're just hugging these heaters. Me and Marco, like, dude, it's cold, man. So there was a story that the old man was looking for somebody to put into the game, and they were by the heater and they couldn't get to him. So the old man says, "Don't ever bring them around again. I don't want those things." So we went a couple of decades with no heaters. No heaters. And then we were at Iowa, and there was a picture. Our kicker had missed like 3 kicks. Our punter was shanking, like they were just.
The foot was probably frozen.
Exactly. So they had the 2 kickers, and they were little. It was Kevin Kelly and Jeremy Boone, and they were like in between, like the headset boxes, the electrical boxes on the sideline, to keep away from the wind. And they were like, and they're like, "What the heck's going on with Penn State sideline down there?" And there was no heat.
Oh my!
They were frozen. So the old man, they got all mad at the old man for that and stuff like that. So that was a horrible one, losing to that one.
Now we have the benches are heated. Like it heats the benches that we sit on. There's just a heater that goes into under the benches, and so you sit on it and it warms up your keister.
I wish we could just zoom in on my eyes right now and just be like, oh my God, heated benches.
Heated benches. I'm trying to think what else you got now. Yeah, I do remember almost toasting myself because they got some fire on the sideline now, and you kind of put your foot up to it, and it's like, I'm going to catch this thing on fire.
Yeah, the old Nike Sharks. They were like molded cleats. And they were like, I melted it, like the side of it. They had a little strap over top of a plastic strap, and I looked down and I was like, Jesus, it was melting. That's how close I was to the heater.
Z-Man said, "Is that the game Rocket Ishmael got hurt and we beat Notre Dame in South Bend?" I don't remember I just remember the Rocket on the Ravens. I don't remember any Notre Dame Rocket. I played his son actually in high school. Fun fact.
The Rocket was 87.
Oh, that was a lot earlier. Okay.
Yeah, that was the coldest game in Beaver Stadium history.
Really? It was pretty cold.
I thought it was Tim Brown era when that was the cold game.
Imagine, I mean, we're talking. I'm trying to dig into 30 years ago with Big Gooner here. A lot of hits to the head. So we got to appreciate what Goon's bringing to the table here. A lot of pain, and he's bringing it. He's recalling on it right for you guys. I'll tell you what.
Oh, I got the memory, dude.
You got it. Okay says,
look
what's
at the
good,
size
bro?
of my
Love the
head.
show.
I mean, Jesus, you got to do a lot of damage in there.
And you're a history major, so obviously you're good with it. You kind of retain information. Okay
this
says,
is true.
What's good, bro? Love the show. Thank you, Mr. Okay. Appreciate you. Let's talk a little quick second here, Goon, about some of these other games before we get out of here. So I don't know if you saw the ending of A&M and Notre Dame. What's
what
so
are you going to say?
So did you see?
What am I going to say about Tennessee, Georgia?
Georgia,
Notre Dame.
Kicker botched it. You love specialists. Goon loves specialists.
He got one job.
You should have seen. So they got like a freeze frame of the Tennessee kicker right before, and his eyes are as wide.
Kickers.
Oh, he was not ready for that moment. And then you hate kickers. You know what you want to hate on even more? Just holders. Their only job is
Their
the hold.
specialist is the hold?
Just the holder. Some people are only holders. So that was Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, Tyler Buckner is the guy who fumbled the point after attempt that made it so they were only up by 6 instead of 7. And so what's so interesting is I was being recruited to Notre Dame with Tyler Buckner. He was a 5-star quarterback out of California. And
he's a holder.
Yeah. And so he goes there, doesn't win the job. Next thing you know, he transfers out to Alabama. Doesn't work out there. Basically kind of stops playing football for a second. Just plays lacrosse. Decides to come back to Notre Dame as a walk-on. So 5-star that went to Notre Dame, leaves, comes back as a walk-on. He's like their third-string quarterback, and he's their holder. And he fumbles the extra point snap, and they're only up by 6. And it was kind of like, oh, no. It's going to happen. And they that whole last drive for A&M and
How about
Reed.
the kick return?
Yeah, and they called that back.
Oof.
I didn't know. I didn't see any hold there. But I'll tell you what. And then A&M got away with one. I think they got screwed there, but A&M got away. They tackled the guy on that 4th and goal. The guard got beat, and he
didn't see that.
Yeah, he just tackled.
The right guard pulled left, and I was like,
yeah.
You know why I noticed that guy? Because when they were showing the highlights, they showed him in pregame. He was walking out there dancing and this and that. I'm like, this guy better not be an offensive lineman. It was 55. He was walking out there holding some poster or crap like that. And then he goes out there and he pulls the right guard to left guard and gets jacked. And just falls back on his knees holding the guy. You're right.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, dude.
Yeah. And then he called it. And then, A&M wins
the old school people on the comments will understand that there is that old, Notre Dame gets a lot of calls at Notre Dame. And then that was.
Dude, Notre Dame, the
oof.
refs love Notre Dame. It's insane.
You know how we feel about Michigan.
Well, put 2 seconds back on the clock. You were there for that. We'll talk about the 05 team right there.
Called me for a hold in 94 on a touchdown play, which was not a hold. One of those plays where the guy's falling down and you just push him down. The guys like AQ put it out last week.
Right,
This is not a hold.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, your hand was on his back. And I was like, because he was going down.
30 years later, and you're still mad about it. 31 years at this point. Here we go.
You've heard the story with the old man yelling at me.
Oh,
right?
yeah. You told me that. Where he just ripped into you.
He asked me if I was holding. I said, yeah. I was like, my coach was like, why did you admit to holding? I said, I didn't admit to anything. And he goes, well, he asked you. And I said, well, he asked me if the ref told me I was holding. He goes, no, he didn't. He asked if you were holding. And I was like, oh, God. This is 30 years later I had that conversation.
You're like, oh, no.
I was like, whoa, okay.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but that game was unbelievable.
That was
the
crazy.
LSU
Best game of the year probably so far.
The best part about LSU game was seeing Brian Kelly get whacked on the side.
I don't know if you saw that. This is like the second week in a row it's happened now.
Oh,
he keeps getting taken out on the sideline. And then I don't know if you see they get in the press or post game.
He starts yelling at the guy.
Oh, I hate. Dude, that was the main. I mean, I was coming to Penn State no matter what, but Notre Dame was my number 2. I wasn't going to Notre Dame because Brian Kelly. There was no question. I was like, I'm not going here with this guy. And the reporter asked him, hey, what are some of the struggles of the offense?
It was just a simple question.
Yeah, some struggles of the offense, which the offense did kind of struggle for, even though they won. And he's, I can't believe you're negative coming
Every
out.
week, well, you guys need to get a real job. Dude,
Yeah.
That's a simple question about your offense.
Yeah, right.
You didn't have any offense.
Just-
you had interception returns for touchdowns.
Yeah, you score. By the way, we're saying this quarterback for Florida, DJ Lagway, they're calling him, the next Tim Tebow, the next great one.
What?
5 interceptions for Lagway.
It wasn't too good.
That was hilarious.
It's only his second start outside of it, and you're like, okay, doesn't matter. He's got to do it eventually.
Yeah. He's got a who's Billy? We were already talking about Billy Napier last week. The hot seat continues for him, buddy. I don't know if he's going to make it to the end of the year. He needs some problems. Brian Kelly belongs down in Louisiana.
He's been waiting to go there for a long time.
When he came in with the fake accent, oh my God,
that was so bad.
That was one of the greatest things ever.
I lived in the South. You're somewhat from the South, being in Annapolis, I'd say, but that is a snake oil salesman.
We're close.
That is the definition of a snake oil salesman in the South.
He absolutely is. How about Illinois, number 9? They're looking. So they got Indiana this week. That's going to be a good little Big Ten game.
First shutout in 25 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy stat.
Yeah.
Well,
dude, it just proves that Bielema is a hell of a coach.
Oh,
He's
I love
now taken 3 teams into the top 10s.
You know one of the reasons I love him, too, every time we play, Joe and Sue. Every single time press conference of leading up to the game, he always talks about Joe and Sue. I got a ton of respect for Bielema. He's an awesome
Guess who
dude.
else he knows?
Who's that?
Austin and Pam Schanfelter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were out fishing one time down in the southern Bahamas, and these bunch of drunk dudes are like, "Oh, you guys are Penn State people." Yeah, they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "What do you think about this Wisconsin coach? You think he's a real jerk?" And they're like, "No, actually, we pretty much like him." And he goes like, he lifts his hat up. It's Brett Bielema.
What a good guy.
And they're like, and they kept on saying how the hell are you catching all this tuna? And we can't get out. And Austin's like, well, buddy, the deal is that you don't drink until 4 in the morning and try to go fishing at noon. You need to go fishing at 4 in the morning when they're up, when you get them in the morning, and then you can party all day. And he's like,
okay, that makes sense.
That's how you do it.
That's so good. Bielema, great guy. Bielema.
He was, Bielema's mom and dad.
Yeah.
And he does pay the respect and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, love him. A couple other – dude, do you see South Carolina, number 11, lost 31-7 to Vanderbilt because Sellers went down.
Boy, Vandy is sneaking up on folks, man. They've done it a couple years now.
They got the quarterback, Diego Paiva, something like that.
Irish kid.
Yeah, he said he's yeah, right. Sure. He looks like he's a dude. So he keeps talking about it. They got some good matchups. I'll tell you who's got South Carolina next is Mizzou, who our boy Bo Perbula is down there. So I don't know.
What was Bo's pretty low key yesterday?
Yeah. Just had a 3 touchdown, but it wasn't. They didn't actually. They didn't exactly obliterate.
Do you think we should be really hammering our run game more? It doesn't seem to be clicking yet.
No, it's not fully clicking. K-Tron looks real good when he's out there. I think it was evident. We tried to get Nick some extra carries because Nick had 20 carries, K-Tron had 10. So I think we're just trying to just kind of get it going.
I don't think people realize how important what they're doing is like I always talk about with Ironhead on my show, and that is like there's tread on your tires as an athlete. And when you have 2 running backs that are playing and splitting time, like you're leaving a lot of tread on your tires for the NFL. Like Miles Sanders is going to play a long time in the NFL because he really only started and was only the bread carrier 1 year.
Yeah.
Because he was behind Saquon.
Absolutely.
So there's guys like that, but then K-Tron and Singleton and all those guys, they're going to be going to the NFL, and they're going to have a lot of sprite in their, get up in their legs.
Yeah. No, they're in a good place when you're splitting carries. Like that's probably one of the reasons why they came back. So, we'll just talk about the last couple minutes. By the way, it was amazing. We went 58 minutes without talking about the actual game yesterday. We just hit on it. So, right
we
there.
Do.
That's like the record. You leave
That's
me
what
hanging.
we do.
You leave me hanging. One more.
No, we'll talk about the game for.
Yeah,
everybody knows what happens in the game.
It's Villanova. Now, what is going to the game that we're interested in is Oregon. Here we go.
No tailgate talk is what I'm more disappointed in.
Are you?
We're good, though. It's all good.
What is the tailgate for Oregon going to look like? I know that's going to be a big one.
Al Palomalo wants to go go tropical with the layouts, we're gonna
get are you like
the robes?
Can we get like tiki torches out there? Is that allowed? No, can we do open flames?
Yeah.
No open flames down there.
No.
I'm excited for that one. We'll definitely have to stop by the Big Goon tailgate there. But
you're gonna grace us with your presence this week, huh?
I'll definitely try. We got pregame, postgame shows. It's a heck of a time.
How was your questions yesterday?
Oh, it was good. I mean, we had call-ins. People definitely didn't overreact.
Give me a trivia.
Oh, trivia. Here you go.
Yep.
All-time.
I want the student bookstore bathroom. Okay, if
Yes.
I answer this question, I get the bathroom.
All right.
Or I get the onesie Nittany Lion over here.
All right, here you go. All-time leader in quarterback, wide receiver, touchdowns. All right. Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, Jahan Dotson, Sean Clifford, Kenny Jackson, Blackledge. Which one is it? All-time leader in quarterback, wide receiver, touchdowns.
Because Clifford played here 16 seasons, I'll say Clifford.
That is correct. It was Clifford and Dotson, yeah. It was.
I get a robe. I want a robe.
We'll get you the XL robe. Everybody watch out. Goon's going to be in the XL student bookstore robe that you can get down here.
Maybe
Be
the lion will
careful.
be scared of me.
Yeah. But, that was actually a fun fact. It was Todd Blackledge that did have the record with Kenny Jackson, and Todd was on the game when Clifford and Dotson broke it when we were at Maryland.
Woof. So KC and Bobby were third.
I don't even know if they were third. I'd have to go back and look.
Let me think now. I really got to say that I think that KC really didn't jibe until like midway through the junior season.
Yeah.
He struggled a lot.
Yeah, it took him a little bit. Yeah.
But when he about
I don't know.
we came back from Michigan State, we were down 28 points, and we came back and won that game in
Good God.
1993.
You don't see that type of thing anymore. I'll tell you what. Goon? Oh, the Nittany Lion mascot's here. Oh, my gosh.
There he is.
Hello. Everybody's lined up
The
for
most
him.
important guy here. God bless him.
God
Look
bless.
at him.
You know, he is a superstar. I'll tell you what. He's going to go do push-ups with one hand. He's going to do a cartwheel. He's going to sign a lot of autographs. This is great.
But I know we talked about this before in this show, and that is when I was in '94, the '94 team, our lion was a former wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
And when they would have, did you see the Ohio Bobcat?
Yeah,
and it was like that.
Yeah, going at
when
it, just
'94
wrestling.
with like our. Look at all the pictures. Look at this.
Yeah, a lot of.
It's unbelievable.
They're loving it. That's why you come on down to the student
We should
bookstore.
just be in the background, like, hi, hey.
Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, we'll just get in the glass in the background.
There's some has-beens in the background right there.
my
But look at me in the Nittany Lion.
Goon, it's been a
Good show,
pleasure.
bud. I enjoyed
Great
it.
show. We're going to obviously be off next week. We will be back Sunday morning after Oregon. That's going to be a good one. We'll actually probably talk some real Penn State football after that one.
That would be a hell of a good talk.
It's going to
hopefully.
be a good one. Top 4 matchup against Oregon, as long as they obviously take care of business against a horrid Oregon State football team next week. So enjoy the bye week off. Goon and I, we're going to be tomorrow night. We're working on the player, but we're going to have a Penn State football player for the Blue White Player Show out at the golf course, 6 p.m.
Baby.
I will have my
anybody locally. That's open for anybody to come see.
yeah,
It's
come out to the golf
fantastic.
course. We hang out. We have a good time. Couple Modelo beers and all that good stuff. We want to hear about the drive next time. All right, we'll save that. The 94 Illinois drive. We'll talk about that next time. We got to save it. I'll have my post-game show out in a couple hours here for you guys. We'll have a good
You can
good
talk
bye
football
week.
then.
Yeah, we're going to talk actual football. If you want the nitty-gritty,
We just talk the
you'll tune in
opposite
there.
here.
I already told him yesterday on the post-game show. I was like, hey, tune in to Goon and I at the student bookstore. We're not going to talk about that game, but you're going to laugh, and it's going to be a great time. That's what we do here. But
People on the way out of town, tune in, have fun.
yeah, absolutely. But once again, make sure you guys stop on by the student bookstore downtown.
baby. We are.
State College. Get all your Penn State merch needs and get your whiteout gear.
Go Birds.
We are 13 days away. Go Stillers.
Go Birds.
We'll give you a Go Birds
Go
as well.
Birds.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. Love you guys.